Come on, enjoy the flavor. Come on, enjoy.
Everybody, it's your girl Tanya, Lady T, and yes, you're in the kitchen with me. Let's start our first recipe for my channel. This is going to be simple shrimp and grits. Again, this is a Southern classic with the city girl twist. In other words, we're gonna cut the time in half. We're gonna make it real simple and fun. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm getting ready to start my grits. So all I'm doing to get this recipe started is go ahead on and get your grits going. And I've put 3 cups of water in here, and I'm gonna do 1 cup of grits. So when that comes to a boil, I'll put the grits in. And what we're gonna do we're gonna do like a half a stick of butter in there as well. So go ahead on, get that. Okay. Half a stick. Put it in there, and go ahead on and put about a tablespoon, not a tablespoon, but a teaspoon of salt. I've been cooking a while, so I'm just going to measure it. Okay? Like I said, about a full teaspoon of salt. Or you can just season to taste. Okay? So, got that on so that can start boiling. Okay? Of course, you get your grits. I'm using regular Quaker Grits. Go ahead on and measure out a cup of grits. So when the water starts boiling, you'll be good to go. Okay, the first thing we're going to do to get our shrimp and grits going, we're going to go ahead on and I'm going to do about 4 strips of bacon, and go ahead on and fry that bacon up. Now, with the shrimp, you need to go ahead on and open up your shrimp and rinse your shrimp off. Go rinse your shrimp off with cold water and get you a strainer. Okay, here's your strainer. And this is what the shrimp looks like. Okay, they're frozen, but they're raw. And like I said, they've already been deveined. Just gonna pour those in there. Okay, shrimps are rinsed off. Okay, while we're waiting on the bacon to cook, and while we're waiting on the grits to boil, we can go ahead on and move into cutting up an onion. Now, I'm just going to use a little bit of onion, not a whole lot. And this is just some leftover half of an onion. So I'm actually going to just cut that in half. I hope y'all can see that. Okay. I'm just going to cut that in half. Okay. And then I'm going to cut this piece in a fourth. So I'm actually only going to use this amount of onion. Not going to use a whole lot of onion. I don't want to overpower it with onion. Some people put garlic in theirs. I'm not going to put raw garlic in mine. I'm just going to put garlic powder. What you do with this onion is just that I'm just going to dice it up. And these don't have to be perfect, because what I'm going to do is make them very small. Okay, that's it. And if we're measuring this, this is probably not even a third of a cup. Just enough to fit in your palm. Y'all want to see that? Just enough to fit in the palm of your hand. That's and we want this bacon to get really crispy. Here's the bacon, and we got the grits boiling. Okay? So now, I'm going to just show y'all what I mean when we're doing the grits. Okay, see how the water's boiling? I'm using my spoon. Go ahead on, Cut your heat down. Of course, when you're boiling grits, you got to have it on high so the water will boil. Okay, then you turn those grits down to about between 6.5 and 7. Go ahead on and stir your water. And as you're stirring that water, speed up a little bit. And gradually let the grits pour down in there. So y'all can see that. See how I'm letting it stream down in there, but I'm keeping that water moving. Keeping the water moving. Keeping the water moving. Keeping the water moving. Keeping the water moving. Till it's all gone. And you just keep stirring. And this will ensure that your grits don't clump up. See that? Just keep it moving. Keep it moving. Okay? And you just turn it down to about 6. Leave the top off of them for about, don't cover them up quite yet. Just let it come to a boil. Then you're going to cut it down on low and cover them. And hey, that's how you make your grits. Okay, see how the grits are boiling? Now we can go ahead on and cover your grits, okay? And then we're going to cut it down to about a 4, between 3.5 and 4. And we're just going to let them cook. And then in about another minute, we'll check on them and stir them up so they don't get lumpy. Okay? I'm going to go ahead on and put the other stick of butter, the other half of the butter in here. You want to make sure this has a really buttery flavor. And I'm also going to sprinkle a little bit of paprika in there to give it that creole color. Give it that pretty color that you see when you eat shrimp and grits. That's that paprika color. And just a little bit of maybe creole seasoning. So I've got the grits down on low. These bad boys, all they've got to do is just finish slow cooking because they're basically done. These are your grits. Yes. Okay. The bacon is done, so we're going to turn this pan down low because we're actually going to use some of this grease off the bacon when we do our shrimp. We're taking the bacon out. Perfect. Okay. Now that's a lot of grease in there, so we're going to pour off just a little bit, but we're going to keep some of this grease for that flavor on that shrimp. Okay, y'all, the next step we're going to do is just with the bacon. Okay, we've got the bacon all crispied up, and just put that on your cutting board. I'm going to move this onion out the way because I'm done with that. So we're just going to put the bacon on the cutting board. I've got the onions right here. I'm going to just scoot them over. And you're just going to take the bacon and just cut it up into chunky bacon bits. So I can just stack 2 of them on at a time. And see, you just run your knife across them, and because it's crispy, it's just going to break right on up. Okay, see how that's just crunched up? And then we're just going to put it over here in the skillet. Okay, and we're just going to push those bacon bits and onions right back in there. Okay, stir that around. And your heat is probably anywhere between 4.5 and 5 at this point. Okay. Now it's time to put the shrimp in. Just put the shrimp in. And let me just show you. See how the shrimp looks gray? When it turns a pink color, that's when you know it's done. A pink peach color. Stir all that good flavor in there together. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, we're going to put a little salt. And you need to season this to your tasting. But I put like not even a half of a teaspoon of each of these seasonings. Little black pepper. Just a dusting. That's what you're doing. You're dusting this. Okay. Garlic powder. And again, all of these are a dusting. Some Creole seasoning. And whatever brand you like. Again, we're just doing a dusting. And then parsley flakes. And just stir. Let's check on the grits. Nice and buttery. I can smell it. See the grits? Oh, nice and buttery smell. Love it. Okay, at this point now, I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit of paprika in it to give it that Creole Louisiana reddish look, reddish orangish look. It's paprika. And just a little bit in there. Just a little bit goes a long way with paprika. Y'all see that? A little goes a long way. And then just stir it up. At this point, your grits will thicken. And if you want your grits to be a little bit looser, just add water to it. Just add a little water to it and it will thicken up for you. Okay? Then we go back over here to the shrimp. It just smells so good. The aroma. I'm telling y'all. When we eat this, I'm sure we are going to do our little happy dance. Okay, we're going to turn that down. And I want to show y'all, if y'all can see that, see how it has turned a pink color? These shrimp are done. It doesn't take long for these shrimp to cook. Let's cover our grits back up. Okay. Now, this is where you can add your heavy cream. And that's what I'm getting ready to do now. Excuse me. I'm going to do 1/3 cup of this cream. Just pour it in there. And this just thickens your sauce, just gives it a little thickness to it. That creaminess. It smells so good. And like I said, if you want to cook for a whole lot of people, then you get a larger bag of shrimp. You just double the recipe. But it's just for, I'm cooking for 2 people. This is plenty. Now, if you got greedy cousin Jethro coming over, and you know that they like this, you can't be skimpy. Okay? So now here we have, and so now let me just taste. Oh my God, that is the business, y'all. That is the business. Now we can sprinkle just a little bit of the Creole seasoning in the grits. About 1/4 of a teaspoon of that in there. Again, you want to have that flavor throughout your dish. Stir it. And all this gives your grits just a beautiful color. You don't want your grits to have that white look. You want it to have look like they're seasoned. So putting paprika and a little bit of that Creole seasoning in there does just that. All right, everyone. Our shrimp and grits, they're done. So let's take a taste of this. Oh, I can hardly wait. So we're going to put a little bit of grits. Okay, we've got the grits in the pan, in the bowl, I should say. And let's get this shrimp in here. And you can just place it like in the middle part. Just put some bacon bits on top of that. Oh, doesn't that look beautiful? Oh, isn't that beautiful? So now let me taste it. Get some bacon in there. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Okay, now let's do the taste test. Oh my God. That is so good. Do my dance on. Woo! That is good, y'all. I'm telling you. Shrimp and grits. Yes, ma'am. And yes, sir. That's some good eating. So anyway, I hope y'all like my recipe where it's a southern taste with a city girl twist. And may God bless you with every bite. Anyway, thanks y'all for joining me.
Come on, enjoy the flavor. Come on, enjoy the flavor. It's country cooking with the city girl twist. When you're cooking with Lady T, she's gonna show you all these wonderful things. So come on, enjoy the flavor. Come on, enjoy the flavor. Come on, enjoy the flavor. It's country cooking with the city girl twist. Yeah, it's country kitchen with the city girl twist. Yeah, it's country cooking.